let's talk about the fallout from Shiny Happy People, Duggar Family Secrets, Ginger's reaction, an important update about Bobye and Jim Holt, which will shock you, what Michelle and Jim Bob had to say, and what the rumors are about how Anna actually reacted. So let's start with somewhat of a scandal. So Bobye and Jim Holt, who are pretty important in the documentary actually. Jim Holt is Jim Bob's childhood friend, guys, and their daughter literally dated Josh Duggar. They had claimed that when they confronted Jim Bob and Michelle about Josh, Michelle said that they had no intention of telling them about Josh's past until after Josh and their daughter were married. So clearly their friendship deteriorated from there. Like, imagine. Well, there's been a twist, guys. So according to In Touch, Bobye Holt has been granted an order of protection on Jim Holt. So the order was filed on April 21st, 2023, so very recently, and way after they filmed the documentary. It will stay in place for the next 10 years, which means that's like a maximum of some kind. So the circumstances are unknown, but I mean, to me, it does not look good at all. So who would have thought that the couple who were holding hands, I mean, she had her hands like on his lap the whole time during the interview, would be going through this. I mean, they seemed like such a normal kind of couple, right? So another surprise that things are not always what they seem, honestly, like in this whole thing. And meanwhile, Jinger chimed in and in an article by People revealed why she did not participate in Shiny Happy People. She said, "I was actually approached and asked to participate in the docuseries, but I thought that from my perspective, I really wanted to make sure that I was able to share my story in my own words and in my own timing. So that's why I wrote Becoming Free Indeed. It was to share more of my journey out of IBLP's teachings. I wanted to be able to share it in a way that was like God honoring and hopefully sharing my story in a balanced way." My interpretation means that she basically thought that the documentary was not balanced and probably biased, but that's just my opinion. But I mean, the documentary is just not Ginger's scene. She's just not as bold about speaking out at all, like in what I've seen. She's trying to disentangle, but in a very gentle way that's not going to upset anybody, ruffle feathers, or rock the boat. She also said that she's still excited to see what Jill has to say, which brought a smile to my face because I hope they still have like a good sisterly relationship. And finally, after a very, very long silence on social media, Jim Bob and Michelle randomly issued a note about the documentary. It said, "A note from Jim Bob and Michelle." In response to the documentary, it said, "The recent quote-unquote documentary that talks about our family is sad because in it we see the media and those with ill intentions hurting people we love. Like other families, ours too has experienced the joys and heartbreaks of life, just in a very public format. This quote-unquote documentary paints so much and so many in a derogatory and sensationalized way because sadly, that's the direction of entertainment these days." Love how they use documentary in brackets. And after they go on and say that they believe in reconciling in a private setting. Also, Amy King, Jim Bob's niece, actually responded to this note or whatever in a video with Entertainment Tonight. She basically called it gaslighting, guys. So, I mean, Amy is definitely not team Jim Bob and Michelle. And other than that, a source apparently told In Touch about Anna. Josh's wife Anna isn't a fan of Jill. While she isn't saying much I hear that she doesn't want to watch the documentary and thinks the people who participated are toxic. And do you guys remember the Christian YouTubers Paul and Morgan, the young couple that they interviewed in the documentary? Well, they're not happy and they have stuff to say. They published a video responding to, how they're portrayed in the documentary. And basically, the documentary, they said, portrayed all of Christianity as wrong, and that they said integrity wasn't a leading goal for that docuseries. They said that the crew told them they did such a great job and treating them really, really well. And obviously, by watching the documentary, they were basically kind of, it just was not what they expected. And in my opinion, they were kind of collateral damage in some way. I don't know if the concept changed or what happened, but anyways, they've spoken out against Josh, by the way. They're not an IBLP, so I don't know how they ended up being lumped into all that, but I watched their video and I'm kind of thinking like maybe they were wronged. Honestly, I just want to make clear like my standpoint, and that is that I think probably a lot of people in the IBLP are actually probably good people, and I think a lot of the Duggars are probably actually good people as well. And Christian or not, most people are good people just trying to do their best in this complicated world, dealing with what they were, taught as children, dealing with what they're presented with, throughout their life. So honestly, do I think that the docuseries did I enjoy it? Obviously. I mean, I do wonder what Jill thinks of the documentary and if she thinks she was portrayed correctly. I don't think she said anything that was wrong or controversial or anything like that. I think, they were careful to represent themselves well. Did you enjoy it? What did you think about it? Let me know in the comments. And as always, guys, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. And let me know in the comments what you would like my next video to be, because I'm taking opinions, So chime in, guys. I will be back later. Bye, everybody.